Radio. This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Let's talk about pets, baby. Let's talk about ticks and fleas. All the fun things that we see. Smart tips and tricks guaranteed.
Hey pet friends, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About Pets. Fear not, your scaly skin best friend Nessie's here, along with
your wheezy best friend Echo. And I'm a little wheezy because I'm getting over the flu.
Yuck. We'll do our best to mitigate the flu sounds. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season. Welcome into 2025. We are starting this episode off with mixed breeds and purebred dogs. Love knows no pet breeds.
I like that. That's good.
Because, we left the mixed breeds and we left the pure breeds for their own different reasons.
We love them all. Yeah. Well, I was just thinking about this the other day when we're looking into this episode. What do you think was the number one most popular dog breed in America in 2023? Do you already know the answer?
I know the answer. It is a Frenchie.
It is, yeah. I thought it would have been a golden retriever.
No, but it had been a Labrador for a long time, which I am a...
For 31 years. Yeah, and the Frenchie dethroned in 2020.
Yeah, I disagree.
But for almost as long as I have been alive, that Labrador was at the number one spot. So I thought that was really interesting.
I get it. I totally get it.
Great dogs.
I've yet to understand how Frenchie won out the past couple of years, but...
I mean, they're charming and they're silly sounding and they're kind of cute looking. Not everyone agrees with me. That's okay.
They're cute. I don't know how I feel about a dog that breathes louder than me asleep while it's awake. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't handle noise very well, so I get it. My dogs are actually pretty quiet, so that makes sense to me. But I thought about, we should list off the top 20 because a lot of what we're going to be talking about when it comes to purebred and mixed breed illnesses, we want to talk about the dogs that are statistically like the ones that people have. So number 1 is the French Bulldog. Number 2 is the Lab. And then we have the Golden Retriever, German Shepherd, the Poodle, the Dachshund, the English Bulldog, Beagle, Rottweiler, German Shorthair Pointer, Corgi, Aussie, Yorkie, Cavalier, Doberman, Cane Corso, which I was really surprised about, the Miniature Schnauzer, the Boxer, the Great Dane, and the Shih Tzu. So the Cane Corso is number 16, and that surprised me. We see a number of very specific issues with Cane Corsos at my specialty clinic. They all have very similar issues.
Oh, I was going to say, is it for certificate testing and kind of things, but no.
No, you know what? Actually, now that you mention it, I don't know that I have seen any Cane Corsos myself for OFA certifications. So OFA certifications, for anyone that is unaware, that's the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals. Basically, this organization that you can get certifications for, cardiology, ophthalmology, orthopedics, so that you can get especially your breeding stock, you can get them certified so that when you sell the offspring, you can show the certificates to the families that are buying it so they can have assurances that you've done everything you can to make sure that you're breeding healthy dogs. So we're big fans of OFA. I'm a big fan of responsible breeding, and a lot of responsible breeding is being aware of the flaws in the specific breed that you choose. If you're the kind of breeder that really wants to continue this line because you love this breed of dog and you want to make sure they are as healthy as possible, that's a great way to do it. As we're talking today about purebreds versus mixed breeds, like, I'm a fan of both, of course, but I definitely see a lot of merit in having well-bred purebred dogs.
If you are getting a dog from a breeder, you definitely want to do your research and make sure that it is a legitimate breeder that's doing things the right way. It does cost money to do things the right way,
Yeah, it does.
While we were away for these holiday breaks and you were out of town, I was thinking about my love for you. And I did the closest thing that I can relate my love for you to is mad cow disease.
What?
Yeah. My love for you is as crazy as mad cow disease.
Oh,
And I couldn't wait to see him again to tell you.
that's amusing.
In case you didn't get it, I had a pickup line for you.
That was a very good one. That was very funny.
I do have one more for you.
Okay.
Girl, if you were a dinosaur, you'd be a gorgeosaurus.
Okay. Very good.
I picked that because it's a true sentiment.
Oh, that's very sweet. Did you know in 2017, the AVMA estimated that 53% of American pet dogs were mixed breeds? So it's almost 50-50.
That's it.
Yeah. I would have expected.
Are they counting doodles and
Well,
the cavapoos and doodles and stuff in there?
as far as I'm aware, the AKC does not recognize any type of doodles or poodle mixes as a breed. So must be part of that.
Okay.
You know, there's so many. I've met a lot through grooming. I bet you have too.
I no longer groom because I have carpal tunnel from brushing out so many doodles.
I no longer groom because a 98-pound Labradoodle jumped off the table and ruined my back. If anyone's just like, how's a dog jumping off a table ruin your back? It's because I caught him. I feel like, at least in my experience in the field, there's always an opinion about what's better, purebred versus mixed breed. And there are people on both sides that are ready to die on the hill that they're on. And so that's something that we could really look into and talk about today. The AKC website, I can't remember if I said this before, but AKC stands for the American Kennel Club. They keep all the stats, the records of purebreds that are registered through them. And there are other clubs and stuff that you can use, but the AKC is kind of the most well-known nationally. But their website says that there are no well-published conclusive studies indicating that purebreds are any less healthy than mixed breeds. And they make the argument that mixed breed dogs are just as likely to get the same illnesses as purebred dogs are. It's just really difficult to prove that conclusively because there's no registry for mixed breed dogs that studies the prevalent illnesses. One assumption I've heard over and over in this field is that because mutation is getting bred to mutation down many generations of purebred dogs to achieve specific characteristics, this is what makes purebred dogs more unhealthy. That assumption, though, it would not be true if both of the mixed breed parents carried the same mutated alleles for the same disorder. The benefit of purebred dogs is that the breeder should be aware of the genetic weak links in their stock and work to eradicate those the best they can. And with mixed breed dogs, they're often accidental breedings, and so we can't know what genes are coming into play for the offspring.
One of the things about a mixed breed dog that I do enjoy is the uniqueness. They very rarely look the same. For instance, a client that came in, their dog was bred to a dachshund, which wasn't ideal. A dachshund and a German Shepherd got together. Yeah. The puppies were already bigger than the mom by the time that they were rehome. Some of the dogs wind up looking more like the German Shepherd than, the mom. And some of them were short and long German Shepherd looking dachshunds. It was a very strange combination. But because of that, no two dogs in that litter came out looking the same.
Yeah.
And all of them pretty much came out bigger than their mom.
That is crazy.
So that's one benefit is at the dog park, you're probably going to have a more different looking dog than the rest.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, look at this face. Look at him. And I know you guys at home can't see, but my little dog, he's a mutt. He is ridiculous looking. He's absurd. He is, as best as we can tell, Jack Russell and Pug cross. Now, whoever thought that was a good idea, it's just very silly person because he is an obnoxious, grumpy, mean, wrinkly dog. But man, does he have just the most silly, unique face.
I love his
He's
face.
so cute. We can post a picture of him on our Facebook page or something.
I would love to show off our kiddos.
Yeah, that would be fun. I can concur that unique is certainly a side effect of mixed breeds.
Sometimes in the pure breeds, you can see like a differential. the patterns are not always the same, you know, like you can see a different black splotch here or a different like line here, but all in all, they have a similar look to them.
Even when they all look the same, there are ways to tell the difference, but man, sometimes it's hard.
I don't think that I'm that attuned to the shapes and the heads and the and the things that enough to be like, that's definitely Pixel. I'll be like, Pixel? And if he doesn't come, then I'm like, that's probably not him.
Well, I'm sure when you were grooming, you could probably tell each of your different doodles apart.
They were like different shades, their coat colors and stuff. Some people wanted more of a poodle look while others wanted like the not poodle look. So in that kind of case, every now and then I could, but if I were to be out in public and just see the dog, I wouldn't know.
Oh, really?
That is definitely that doodle that I groomed. Yeah.
Oh, okay. A family friend that they used to breed double doodles, which is where one parent was a golden doodle and one parent was a labradoodle. I think they only had 2, maybe 3 litters, but one of the litters, they wanted to do a bunch of dog training when they got a little bit older. I think there were 4 or 5 of them, and they all wanted grooming. So like they would be a day where I would have 5 doodles all related, making sure that this was this one and this was this one, and making sure they went back to the right owner.
That's wild.
When you get to know them and you can tell them all apart.
A while back when I was grooming, we had from 2 different families, but they were just like white Malteses, right? Probably around the same age, got similar haircuts. And one got groomed by one groomer, one got groomed with the other. They were not labeled on their kennels. When one of the girls went to check the dog out, she went to go grab the white Maltese like dogs and sent it home with the owner. One of the other girls went to be like, hey, where's my dog? Did so-and-so go home? And they were like, no, this one went home. And she was like, no, that one's right there. No. And so it was the wrong dog that went home. We called them and they were like, I thought he was acting a little different. And
oh my gosh.
The owner should bring the dog back up when we got the right dog sent back with the right person. But
that's embarrassing.
Even the owner got home with the dog, was just like, I just thought he was like real tired or real mad at me for taking with the groomer today because he didn't want anything to do with me.
Oh my goodness. Also, like, that's crazy to me. How would you not recognize your own dog?
I know mine. He's got a big dopey face, and the other one, she doesn't have an ounce of chill in her.
There was this study done in 2002 looking at dogs with hip dysplasia, and it found that the prevalence of this disease was equal in both purebred and mixed breed dogs. And that's about the closest that I have found to a conclusive study saying this disease is the same regardless of if you're purebred or mixed bred. But it was only done in hip dysplasia. There was another study done at the University of California, Davis Veterinary Medical Teaching Hospital, comparing the medical records of over 90,000 dogs between 1995 and 2010. That study specifically looked at the prevalence of 24 different illnesses among purebred versus mixed breed dogs. And so this is the best study that I have found. AKC wasn't lying. Like, there's not a whole lot on this subject, like which is better, which is healthier. But this one I thought was really interesting just for the sheer scale of it. They found 13 of those 24 illnesses had no significant difference between the mean proportion of purebred and mixed breed dogs with those disorders. That's more than half. Then 10 of those illnesses were found to be more prevalent in purebred dogs than in mixed breed dogs, but no single breed dominated the percentages of breeds affected. They found that CCL tears were much more prevalent in mixed breed dogs than in purebred dogs, and also getting hit by a car was more prevalent in mixed breed dogs. Some genetic disorders were present with equal prevalence among all the dogs in the study, regardless of purebred or mixed breed status. Other genetic disorders were found in greater prevalence among purebred dogs, but every disorder was seen in the mixed breed population.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it was a really, really interesting read.
What does being mixed breed have to do with being hit by a car?
Oh, I don't think there's a connection necessarily. It's the teaching hospital. So their patients, the 90,000 dogs that they studied, those are what brought into this teaching hospital. So there's a bit of a skew in that.
Just the soup's norm.
The soup's norm.
I think what we should do here is have our first review. And I thought What funny things can we find for dog lovers? Like funny dog products that you might get someone with pets?
Well, yeah.
Our first product here is the dog paw cleaner.
Okay.
It's the washing bloody muddy pet foot cleaner for small, medium, and large breed dogs and cats. And it comes with 3 absorbent towels. I'm just going to show it to you.
Oh, okay. Kind of looks like a trash can.
It looks suspicious. So anyway, this is a 1-star verified purchase from, oh gosh, what's a good one? Give me one of the Toto names then.
Pamela. Don't
Okay.
break this heart of mine.
Wait,
I was just going to sing it.
let me introduce it first. This is a 1-star verified purchase from Pamela.
Pamela, don't break this heart of mine. Just remember, it may not heal this time.
Beautiful.
Someone's going to turn that off if you leave that in.
I am probably going to leave that in, but it's going to be okay.
All right. Just remember I'm sick.
This review is called Ugh.
Okay.
Pamela said, babe, it just doesn't work. Stick with puppy-safe pet wipes and a towel for better luck. And that was her. I think Pamela just knows us because she's like, babe, let me just tell you about this product. It's a no for me.
It's a no. Go, Pamela. Let us know what you think.
I get the premise of it. I think you put like a water in there and you like dunk your pet's foot and it has like, I don't know, rubber bristles, I guess, that will
Clean betwixt the toes.
right as you dunk their foot in there. One, you have to have a cooperative enough pet.
Oh, yes.
And it's set for cats. Could you imagine dunking a cat's foot in a container of rubber and water?
Not without some scars.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Mm-mm.
It also comes with the little towels, right? So
Oh.
you're just gonna wipe the feet anyway.
Maybe that's for like once you have clean feet, then you dry it with the towel. In which case, just use a towel.
Right. Use some pet safe wipes that she recommended first. Pamela did, and
Oh, that
then
was very
just
thoughtful.
wipe them.
Easy. I thought maybe that might be easier just to turn the microphone off when I have to.
Whatever works for you.
You're going to have a lot more work for trying to edit around the,
Ooh, Les, maybe don't do that one. That one was terrible.
That's what it feels like.
Some of the other ones have been manageable, but that one right there, that one made me feel away. We have
I like the reviews.
another product here, the Funny Dog Mom pen set. It's a 5-piece dog-themed stylus pen, perfect for the groomer, the vet, the dog sitter, the dog walker, cool Christmas stocking stuffer, and birthday gifts. And they have little dog sayings on them.
Oh, they're pens. Oh, that's cute. I was thinking like a play pen.
No, like a handwriting pen. This one says, ask me about my dog. This one says, my kids have paws. This one says, I work hard so my dog can have a better life. So they're cute.
Yeah.
And they have fun colors. I have a 5-star review. What's another name?
Mushanga.
Is that not, am I putting a curse on somebody? What is it?
It's just the name of a woman.
Okay. So for you today, I have a 5-star review from Mushanga.
Mushanga. Whoa, whoa. I'm having a great time.
I am glad you are, because I was real nervous about that one. I was like, I'm going to say this wrong and the internet is going to cancel me.
I
They're
don't
going to be
think so.
done with me.
No, you're
But I think it went okay. It's a 5-star review called Nice Pens, Cute Sayings. When I saw these pens, I knew I just had to have them. I'm a dog person, of course, so I love the sayings on them. They write well, they're comfortable to hold. I also love the fact that they're very different from the pens we use at work. So if anyone borrows them, in quotation marks, well, we'll all know who the culprit is. I hope they last and don't run out of ink too soon. She doesn't trust her coworkers.
No, she does not.
They gonna take her dog pens. If she works in the vet industry, it's very possible that pens switch hands throughout the day.
Oh, yeah.
There's been tons of times that I pop into a room and I don't have my pen in my pocket. I left it on a counter somewhere, So I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But she wants to make sure that she knows who uses.
But it does happen pretty frequently that someone's just like, oh, I need a pen, I don't have one. And I'm like, here, you can borrow mine. And they use it, and then they either put it in their pocket or they set it down and they forget about it. And then later I go to use my pen and I'm like, oh, where's my pen? It's just a never-ending, constantly looking for your pen, always.
Dr. White has gotten on to me for it before, like stop giving your stuff away type deal. So we were in a room giving a lady advice about her dog's prognosis. She had her calendar out and every medication for her dog was in a different color and pen. And we were adding another medication in, and I had like a lighter blue pen. And I was like, oh, here, you can use this pen. She was like, this is a beautiful color. And I was like, you can have it. She's like, oh, I can't take your pen. And I was like, please take my pen. I felt the least I could do with the bad news she got today was like, give her this nice pen, right?
Mm-hmm.
We get out of the room and Dr. White starts rattling off the medications he wants me to put in the computer for him as far as going home. I had nothing to write it down because it was like a list of things. And I was like, can I use your pen? It was like, you should have never given your pen away in the first place. He gave me his pen on his pocket and he's like, stop giving your stuff away. And then a coworker walks by and she's like, do you have a Sharpie? And I pull my Sharpie out and I was like, here, you could keep it. And he was like, did you literally just not listen? I just said to you.
That sounds like you. You can keep it. Someone
Yeah,
like compliments something and you're just like, oh, you can just keep it every time.
Yeah.
What if someone was just like, oh my gosh, your house is so cute? You'd be like, yeah, you can have it. It's yours now.
You like it? You can have it.
Oh my gosh, your dog is so pretty. You can have it. Wait.
Right. I don't know why my brain did it like that, but I thought she gets one small goodness out of the day, which is this like cool colored pen.
And when we're talking about known breed illnesses, when it comes to mixed breed dogs, they tend to be mixes of the most popular breeds that people own, right? The more of one breed that exists, then the higher the likelihood of a runaway or a stray dog being that breed, right? So as a general statement, and like this is of course not going to be like totally accurate, but it gives us a bit of a blanket understanding that mixed breed found on the street or from accidental breedings at home, or unspayed dogs that run away and come back pregnant, or unneutered dogs that smell a dog in heat nearby and chase that scent, like all of that, it's more likely that the offspring from these pairings are going to be mixes of the most popular breeds. Sometimes the mixed breeds will have the genes, they will have the alleles for these different types of diseases and mutations. I wanted to start with the brachycephalic dogs. For anyone that does not know, brachycephalic just means like short head. So these are dogs that have like really squishy face. 5 of our top 20 most popular breeds are brachycephalic. That's the French Bulldog, the English Bulldog, the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, the Boxer, and the Shih Tzu. And there are many other popular breeds that are also brachycephalic that are not on this list, like Pug, Boston Terriers, Pekingese. There are a surprising number of medical problems that stem from breeding dogs with flat faces. We love the look of these breeds because they look the most like human baby. That's kind of the general thought of why we keep breeding dogs with flatter and flatter faces. The giant round head, the big eyes, humans have bred these dogs to look this way on purpose. Important to recognize what we are sacrificing for this really adorable look, and that is their health and their overall welfare. The Humane Society of America has a really good resource on their website to help owners understand the health concerns of brachycephalic dogs. On that list, there's breathing problems, skin fold infections, eye and eyelid issues, back and joint problems, mobility issues, heat stroke, and birthing problems. At some point, I think we're planning to do an entire episode on brachycephalic obstructive airway syndrome because there's so much information and it really deserves its own episode.
Talking about brachycephalics, in an article called The Longevity of Companion Dog Breeds, they were basically looking at the different aspects of a dog, whether it is mixed or purebred, the size of the dogs, and of course, the cephalic index. There's 3 different cephalic types. So there's the brachiocephalic, which is flat-faced, mesocephalic, which is medium proportion, and then there is the dolichocephalic, which is the long-faced breeds. These have a key factor in a pet's lifespan. The brachiocephalic breeds tend to have significantly shorter lifespans than those with the longer or medium faces. We're
thinking of all brachycephalics, right?
Yeah.
We're going to have to include Shih Tzus, Cavaliers, Pekingese, and even the Bostons can live long. It's the English Bulldogs and the Boxers. It feels like that they can't sustain till 12 years old most of the time. Although for Boxers, it's usually not due to brachycephalic issues. It's more due to heart conditions or cancer. So there's that. In short, without going into too much detail about all of the issues that brachycephalics have with just their skull conformation, like the snoring and snorting noises that these dogs make. And a lot of people love it, right? Because they think it's really cute. But I mean, the truth of it is that the snoring and the snorting, it's the sound of them suffocating, right? And I know that sounds really scary, and that's because it is, right? So if we look at wild dogs, wolves, coyotes, foxes, dingoes, my favorite, which is the African wild dog, they all have long snouts with smaller eyes that are safely encased inside deep bony orbits, right? That's the skull structure that dogs naturally have without any human intervention. Throughout centuries of dog breeding, we have invented many breeds with flattened snouts. And our favorite resource, Veterinary Partner, has an article that's written by Dr. Wendy Brooks. She says that brachycephalic dogs have a normal-sized lower jaw and a compressed upper jaw. I always thought it was like both were shorter, but that really helps to explain why all of them have such an underbite, right?
Yeah.
So these dogs tend to have nostrils that are very small, so the opening to the airway through their nose is limited. They also have enlarged tongues, which contributes to obstruct the airway through the mouth. Dr. Brooks also says that really trying to fit all of the soft tissues that dogs have in the mouth and the throat into the limited space that is allowed for flat-faced dogs results in a lot of problems like elongated soft palates, which tend to hang loosely and kind of flap as the dogs breathe through their mouths, and a very narrow trachea, limiting how much air can even pass into the lungs, and also makes intubation for surgeries a lot more difficult. That's something that like you and I tend to see quite frequently. You got to get a tiny endotracheal tube if you're going to intubate a bulldog for surgery. And then stress from excitement or exercise can also be dangerous for these dogs. For as much as these dogs pant, their panting is inefficient for what they need. Dogs that have a normal skull and throat structure, they're able to pant and allow for the evaporation of saliva from the tongue to cool the air as it passes through the throat into the lungs. But brachycephalic dogs, so much more work is needed to achieve the same amount of air that the airways become really irritated and swollen, which further blocks the airway. And that makes overheating a life-threatening problem. There's a lot of significant health concerns for brachycephalic dogs. If you like these dogs, if you have these dogs, it's really important to know all of these concerns, because that is going to be something that you are likely to run into at some point in their lives. And it's good to know what they are so that you can have a plan in place for how to take care of them appropriately.
So for funsies, because now we're all bummed out about not being able to breathe and stuff, and we like
to breathe.
Our next product, the brand is called Jessona, which sounds fun. And these are women's cat socks. Cute animal sock, dog, owl gifts for women. They come in different animals. You can get cat, owl, dog. They're very cute. I need another name.
Carmen.
Like Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah, like Carmen Sandiego.
Okay. This review is from Carmen.
I don't remember how the song goes. Hold on. Carmen, don't you care? Carmen, don't you care for me? Had a little dance with that one.
It was cute. It was good. I was in my head going where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah.
Carmen says she got the cat socks. They are very cute. I got them for a car lover gift.
A car lover? Oh, did she misread?
I think that she mistyped, and it is supposed to be she got a cat lover gift. But it's funny because she specifically was like, I bought the cat socks for the car lover.
The typo would make more sense, although this is funnier.
It's an easy mistake to make, you know. Every car lover is not always a cat lover.
True.
Okay, loyal Peck Pals, let's take a break here. Don't stay away for too long.
You know the expression, cats have 9 lives. Well, what if you can give them one more? The Give Them 10 movement is on a mission to help give cats an extra life. How? With spay and neuter. Spaying or neutering your cat helps them live a longer, healthier life. And it helps control free-roaming cat populations too. Learn more about the benefits of spay and neuter and meet Scooter, the neutered cat, at GiveThem10.org. That's GiveThem10.org.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Well. Look what the cat dragged in. I'm playing with you. Welcome back. Let's dive in.
And I have a second one for this product. This one is a 1-star review.
Ooh,
Do you have another name?
Rosanna.
I think I might know this one.
Yeah. This is probably their second most popular song.
So I have a 1-star verified purchase from Rosanna.
Rosanna, whoa, whoa.
I'm digging this. I'm a big fan.
Doing a bad job. It's fine.
It's called Seriously? Question mark.
Gotta read that with some dude. Seriously. Cat socks. Yes, I see them.
This is how it was delivered. No outer packaging. This was supposed to be a Christmas present. The person it is intended for also lives here. Hopefully I grabbed it before they saw it. Pretty ridiculous considering the price I paid.
Oh, okay.
It got a 1-star review.
For the delivery.
And I think that's an option now on Amazon. You can opt for no extra packaging, to save on wasteful material.
Yeah.
You must have didn't check that you wanted extra packaging because it was a gift, you know?
Yeah. That one might be on you, Rosanna.
Rosanna, I'm really sorry that it was no longer a surprise gift. And for the price you paid,
You know what I realized is that I sang Rosanna to the tune of Mushonga.
I did not recognize your version of Rosanna. I was like, that's not the song I had in my head, but maybe I was thinking of the wrong Rosanna. Is it Rosanna?
That's the one. That's the one I should have done, and I did it wrong.
That's all right.
Because, the thing is, I get them mixed up because, there are so many Toto songs titled are women's names.
I didn't go that deep into it. If the worst part of this issue was that the person they were intended for might have already seen their Christmas socks, I feel like at least it didn't get porch pirated, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There were bigger issues at play here. You could have had no socks. Someone could have saw those and been like, I really want cat socks too.
And who wouldn't?
Porch pirates are everywhere.
Those are adorable. So you could have at least given
I don't know
it
if
2
you've
stars,
seen,
Rosanna.
but yeah. 1 star because they might have seen it is not fair. Your stuff didn't get porch pirated. It's a 5-star, in my opinion.
I think it could have been a little more gracious there, Rosanna.
And it was like multi-pack of colors. Do you know how happy those porch pirates would have been? They have kids they want to put it in their stockings for.
Yeah, I would have loved a set of multicolored cat socks. That sounds really fun.
Yep. So I'm just saying you're not being very thankful. The season of being thankful and people already forgot about it. People are already ready to be mad about it.
It's true.
It didn't last long.
No, it didn't. It really only lasts a couple of days, and then it's just full Christmas time.
Sadly, January 1st is when calories started counting again. So now I'm going to have to go back to eating right. But there was a full 2 weeks where I was like, potatoes? Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. I will have.
Your diabetes can count during this time.
I was staying at my brother and sister-in-law's house, and they eat a lot of carbs. They eat a lot of sugar. And I don't in general. And so I go and I visit them, and I just eat junk food, and it's great. My brother made these tacos that were amazing. And the tacos themselves were fine, but everything else that went with it was carbs and not a single vegetable to be
What
found.
goes with tacos?
Like rice and beans and peppers and stuff like that.
During Christmas, it was potato everything. Mashed potato, take it. Baked potato, French fry, hash brown, I'll take them all.
Mhm.
There's no wrong way to do potato. Now I'm going to go back to missing it, but
Yeah.
it's, for my own good.
Yeah. And if you don't allow yourself to have something that you love, at least sometimes, like that makes it a lot harder to stick with your diet. I think everything in moderation.
And by moderation, you mean while out at the end of the year every year.
Yes.
That's January. That's January's problem.
That's a problem for later. According to the Canine Cancer Foundation, 25% of purebred dogs die of cancer. 4 of the top 5 dog breeds that tend to get cancer are in our top 20 most popular breeds. And that would be the Golden Retriever, the Boxer, the German Shepherd, and Rottweiler.
My question here is actually, is the cancer more prevalent in them because they're more popular breeds, which means there's more of them around? The inevitability is if there's more of one thing out there, that one's going to seem like it has a high instance of cancer, right?
That's a really good point.
The breeds that are not as popular, like what's not popular anymore?
The Dandy Dinmont is not very popular. I like them.
They are cute. So with the Dandy Dinmonts, they're not on the list as having high prevalence of cancer, but there's also not that many out there in people's homes.
Right. And that's a really good point, because now I want to know, are they looking at all of the Dandy Dinmonts in America and this percent of just that breed have cancer? Or are they looking at just all of the dogs that have cancer in America and this percent is Dandy Dinmonts, which is a really small percent? This information comes from the Canine Cancer Foundation. I would really like to learn more about it.
Anybody listening, if you happen to work at the Canine Cancer Foundation,
Talk to us.
reach out to us. We'd be
Please
more
do.
than happy to have you, and we're always ready to learn more.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love that. Statistics do support the idea that genetic characteristics can contribute to higher rates of cancer, although more research really is needed to better understand which genetic factors are involved in increasing cancer risk. So some of the most common cancers found in dogs are mast cell tumors, melanoma, lymphoma, osteosarcoma, and hemangiosarcoma. It would take an entire episode or more to delve into canine cancer, but I do have some quick facts. Mast cell tumors are aggressive tumors made of mast cells, which are a type of white blood cell, and they tend to present as a mass or a nodule in the skin, but they can grow on organs as well. There are a number of purebred dogs that are more susceptible to mast cell tumors, but they tend to have a low-grade tumor, while it's actually the older mixed breed dogs that tend to get the higher grade tumors. So that's mast cell tumors. Small dog breeds tend to have a higher risk of getting melanoma, although any breed can get it, but malignant melanoma, which means that it grows uncontrollably and it invades the neighboring tissues, is often found in the toes and nail beds of black dogs. Lymphoma is cancer of the lymph nodes or the lymphatic system. It is common in a number of breeds and often appears in middle-aged and older dogs. Osteosarcoma is a type of bone cancer, is more commonly found in large breed dogs. Hemangiosarcoma, it's a very aggressive cancer in the blood vessels. It often affects larger breed dogs of middle age and older. So it's kind of a overview of the most common dogs to get cancer. There's a lot listed on the Canine Cancer Foundation website. They have a table with each of those different types of cancers and a list of the most common breeds that get those cancers. So if that's something you're interested in, you can go on their website and take a look.
So back to that longevity paper that I had done a little bit of reading on.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying that as mammalians, which are any species of mammal, their lifespan usually varies strongly with body size. Like larger species tend to outlive the smaller species. For example, an elephant is going to outlive a mouse. But when it comes to domesticated pets like dogs, the size usually works opposite. The smaller breed dogs tend to outlive the larger breed dogs. So the Great Dane is not going to live as long as the Yorkie.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that was a really interesting find that though it works the opposite way in mammals in general, when you look at dog species specifically, the big dogs don't have as long of a lifespan as the little dogs. However, a mouse has maybe a 2-year lifespan.
Oof, if you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky. And an elephant lifespan is, do you know off the top of your head?
I'm going to guess, I'm not certain, but I would guess about 70 years old.
That's like a pretty good guess. About 70.
Woohoo! So in the past, I've had entire colonies of mice, and they very rarely live past 1 year.
Oh.
So rats can live up to 2 years. I had a rat that was almost 3.
Oh, maybe I had them mixed up.
But yeah, I love the tiny little creatures. But yeah, that seems about right.
I mean, to me, that seems crazy that that little chihuahua tends to be like around for 21 years.
Yeah.
And you have the Great Dane for 8, maybe.
That's interesting.
I thought so too. So, speaking of interesting, I have a review for you. It is for a book
I like books.
available on Amazon for choosing the right dog breed for you.
Okay.
Basically, I looked at the free sample of the book online where you can just see what the first couple of pages are. And it was like a little blib of a paragraph. And then it just goes right into a quiz. So I didn't look far enough in to see if the end of the book has more helpful information. It tells you in the description of the book that it is like basically a quiz to help you pick the right breed for your household or whatever.
This is a book you have to buy?
Yes.
Okay.
It's only like maybe 15 pages. It's not very long.
Casey has a quiz for what dog breed is best for you on their website. Just go there.
Yeah. Do you have a guy name for us?
A guy name? How about Jake to the Bone?
Jake to the Bone.
That's the name of the song.
I have a 1-star review here from Jake to the Bone.
There are no lyrics. It's just an instrumental song. So I don't have any words for you.
Can you hum it for us?
Oof. Oh, gosh. Wasn't prepared for this. This is a big quiz.
Oh, no. I dig it. This 1-star review by Jake said, not witty, not warm, not a real book. I glanced at this booklet and I was shocked. I'm still in shock. This is not writing. This is not a book. I'm so disappointed.
It almost sounds like a Seussian rhyme, except that it doesn't rhyme. I'm shocked. I'm still in shock. This isn't a book. My insides are shook. I'm a little disappointed that the review is not in verse.
Right. He missed a real good opportunity with that.
He did.
My thing is, he must have didn't read the blurb or get the sample version first before he bought the full book, because you would have known that it was not a book from that, and you would not still be in shock. Do you think you found the right breed for him?
Well, I mean, he seems a little anxious and panicky, so maybe the right breed for him is going to be an Australian Shepherd or something.
You know, that's a pretty good assumption. I was thinking along the lines of he doesn't seem to pay attention well to details. I don't know why, but this was screaming Jack Russell to me. It gives Jack Russell.
Very impatient, very I see this thing, I want it, I'm going to go get it and not look at anything else that might tell me something different. That is very Jack Russell.
Didn't do his race.
That is one of the number one reasons why that is my favorite breed.
They do a thing and then they're like, oh, maybe that wasn't the best thing. Let's try it again just in case. Might have a different outcome.
They just go for what they want.
Funny. I'm really sorry that didn't work out for you, Jake by the bones. Jake has bones. What?
Jake to the bone. It's like bad to the bone, but it's Jake instead of bad.
Well, is Jake bad or not?
I don't know. There are no words to tell us.
So we just have to go off of instinct.
We just have to take a guess. It's a big old guessing game.
I'm going to say that he was.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. According to Carolina veterinary specialist.
Let's talk about Heart's Baby. That's the only tune I ever know in my head because it's our theme music.
Yeah,
so.
That's a good one. 4 out of the top 20 breeds are prone to cardiovascular conditions. We're just going to cover a couple of them here, like valvular disease. That occurs when the valves of the heart aren't working properly. The valves, simply put, are in place to prevent blood from flowing backwards. Cavaliers are one breed that is prone to degenerative valvular disease. Boxers actually have a disease that is named for them, boxer cardiomyopathy. It's actually called arrhythmogenic right ventricular cardiomyopathy, and that just causes the heart to beat abnormally fast, making the heart unable to properly pump blood throughout the body. Dilated cardiomyopathy is another disease that also causes the heart to be unable to pump blood adequately through the whole body. Typically, that affects large breed dogs like Great Danes and Doberman Pinschers. So heart disease, heart problems are a concern of some of our top 20 breeds. Cardiovascular issues, again, could be an entire episode on its own. So we're kind of just touching on some of the just most superficial bits of some of these problems. According to Pet Insurance Review, a website that reviews the different types of pet insurances, but according to them, 5 of the top 10 dog breeds that are prone to diabetes are in our top 20. So that would be poodles, dachshunds, Labradors, beagles, and mini schnauzers.
Did they specify on the poodles if it was all poodles or like toy standard?
It just said poodles.
I wonder if that plays a factor at all.
Now, schnauzers, it says specifically, are miniature. So the giants and the standards are not in the top 10 breeds prone to diabetes. I feel like every time that we see a miniature schnauzer, they've got diabetes. It's not 100% accurate, but that's what it feels like. So it's very common in my experience. A lot of our dogs on the top 20 also have eye issues. Among them mentioned, typically occur in brachycephalic breeds, like corneal ulcers, entropion, which is the rolling in of the eyelids so that the hair of the lid rubs against the cornea. Exposure issues like dryness and pigmentary keratitis, and that's just when the eyes are inflamed to the point that the body lays down pigment on the surface of the cornea as a protective layer, but that inevitably ends up blocking vision. German Shepherds are prone to a disease called pannus, which is an autoimmune disease where the body attacks the cornea. Beagles are genetically prone to glaucoma, which is where the fluid inside the eye isn't able to drain properly. So the pressure inside the eye builds up and it damages the structures inside the eye. It causes blindness. It's very painful. Yorkies are prone to dry eye. Cane corsos often have entropion and cherry eye when the gland of the third eyelid prolapses and it looks like a little cherry in the corner of the eye. So, all that to say, there are different illnesses and diseases that certain breeds are prone to. If you have those breeds or if you're going to get a dog, look into the different types of illnesses and genetic diseases that they tend to get. Talk to your breeder. See if they've done OFA certifications.
As I was mentioning earlier, good breeding is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you are going to get a good quality purebred pet, you should expect that you're going to pay for that because there's a lot of testing and stuff that goes into assuring that quality.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I have a next door post for you, and the people in your community respond and they post lost pets, those kind of things. Your Ring camera kind of has a version. Do you have any more girl names?
Lorraine.
I have a post here from Lorraine.
It's almost over, Lorraine.
Oh, I like that one. So Lorraine has pretty cute dog. She posted a picture. It does look a bit like a Rottweiler mix. It doesn't look purebred to me. We're 8 months old. Lorraine said, somebody's 8 months old and recently discovered her big girl voice. She surprised me 3 times with her big, deep, chesty bark, making me jump. The last time she was right behind me in the hallway. Dang near needed to change my jeans. Yeah.
That's funny. To be fair, when Chetney barks, I jump because it is sudden and loud.
There was a response in here. Basically, it was like, oh, that's a Rottweiler thing. They love to do that. She knows what she's doing. But to the point where you pee yourself because your dog came up behind you in the hallway and barked at you. I feel like that.
Yeah, that's a pretty extreme situation.
So with Chetney, he catches you off guard when he barks. But
I've never had to change my pants.
Yeah. Well, I have, but not for the same reasons.
I've never had to change my pants ever. I've been wearing the same pants since I was 2.
Amazing. They have grown with you. They must be stuck on you like paint at this point.
They're elastic. Mm-hmm.
Did you get yourself a pair of the Pet-tastic pants?
The commercial was?
No,
Oh.
it was dogs that wear them, but they were indestructible pants.
Yeah.
You must have it. Another website that I was looking into was the Nationwide Pet Health Zone. So they are Nationwide's pet insurance, and they were gathering their claim statistics. I took a couple of notes for what I thought was good points that they mentioned. The expense of adopting a purebred versus a mixed breed dog.
Sure.
As we mentioned, if you are going to get the good quality, tested, verified purebred dog, you're going to pay for that. Mixed breeds, you can generally get for free or for a small rehoming fee. And that does not mean that you have a free dog.
Right.
Like, there's still medical care that has to be paid for. And there's no promise that, just because your dog was free today, doesn't account for future life costs, the food, the vet care, the toys, whatever.
Good point.
The other thing they mentioned was going with a mixed breed is not supporting a puppy mill. And so some of them are these backyard breeding puppy mills.
Yep.
And the stock and quality is where a lot of our health problems are stemming from, because they are putting the same genetics back out there over and over again because it's the money for them, right? They didn't test and know that these dogs have the bad genetics. They just know it looks good. People are paying for their puppy and they're going to continue with that.
Yep.
So I'm a big fan of trying to rescue first, though you never know the temperament or what the dog's been through that you're rescuing.
Yeah.
A little bit of training and patience can go a long way. You did kind of know what Chetney was going to be like when you rescued him.
I did. Here's your bad boy. Here's your bad boy, and I knew it. I knew really that he was just a grumpy, kind of old, crispy allergy dog. That's really all I knew. When I adopted him, I got a letter from his previous owner that detailed the circumstances of why she had to give him up. One thing she said was that he does not like to share food. He'll bite for that. And he doesn't like his nails trimmed. The rest of it, I just had to find out.
You did have a lot more going into it than some people do, which was an advantage. And you knew going into it that he was going to be a grumpy guy and that it was something that you were prepared to handle.
I specifically wanted an old, grumpy, grouchy, naughty monster.
Of course, we are fans of adoption. But I also get where if you're in a family with children, the risk of bringing in an adopted dog where you don't know the background could be life-changing, right? So I can see where in those cases you want to go with a bred dog where you can know the background.
And you can get him from puppyhood.
I can see both sides. Both of mine I got as puppies off of Craigslist. They're mixes. One lady I traded cleaning chemicals for, and when I went to get him, my black Lab Attila, the lady asked if I could bring like cleaning chemicals. The puppy was too young to be going, but she was done with having it. He was 5 weeks old. It was too much work. And I was like, well, I'll take a 5-week-old dog. He's young. I know. I knew what I was getting into when I went to get him. And so in my eyes, I was safe in him. So I went and I traded her a bunch of cleaning chemicals. I show up.
How strange.
She answers the door and she's got a dirty diaper in one hand and a toddler, like a baby, in the other. I was like, hi, I'm here for the puppy. And she was like, okay, can you either take this diaper or this kid for a second? And I was like, no. She was like, well, then you're going to have to come in and grab the puppy yourself.
That's a better option.
She seemed to be the only person home. It is. But I'm not one that just wants to walk into a stranger's home, right? It wasn't the best area. And I'm willingly like, yes, I will come into your house and collect a puppy from you. Why didn't you set the diaper down before you answered the door?
Yeah, why didn't you throw it away on your way to answer the door? That's strange to me.
Could you just not leave it where you change the diaper and be like, cool, I'll get that in a second after I handle this first?
Yeah.
To think that I was going to be like, yes, I'll take this diaper for you.
That's no.
Or I don't mind, I'll hold your kid.
Also bad option.
Or I traded him for some bleach and some Lysol.
That is crazy to me.
It is.
But he ended up being a good choice.
I love him. He's real laid back now.
How old is he now?
I believe he's 10 or 11.
Yeah. How old is Zena?
9. She has to like have herself on a person or on him. Like her face needs to be laying on one of us in some way or else it's a no-go. She feels like she's been deserted. Nobody loves her. She can't have a cuddle.
This is funny.
She's very needy. Okay, I need a boy name.
I've got a St. George.
I have another next door post from St. George. Does anybody have any IV supply for my friend's dog they can donate? She's sad because her dog is sick. And I have a response from Tijuana. And she said, "You mean to donate blood for your dog? I'm willing to offer if my dog can help." This is a neighborhood post where he's looking for IV supplies and one person's offering up her dog's blood.
I don't know what to do with that. Do you ever just draw blood from a dog and then give it to the owners and they can take it?
No,
No, we don't either.
I don't think anybody does.
I don't even know who it would be through, but there are places you can allow your dog to donate blood for like emergency to take care of patients that need transfusions or something, but that's really weird.
It is weird. When I first was reading it, he was like looking for IV stuff for a sick dog. And so my first thing was like, he's looking for someone to donate him some like IV fluids that he's going to give at home.
That's my thought.
Like we send home patients with like sub-Q fluids and stuff sometimes, and we teach them how to do it at home.
Right.
But we've never once like, how are you going to get your IV in, sir? Like, first of all. But then to read that as another human being and be like, oh, he must need my dog's blood. How can I get it to you?
I don't like that.
It's a lot of misunderstanding and a lot of go to a vet. You need a vet. I get that vets are expensive. Go somewhere that can work with you. Oh, I've seen plenty of posts on here with people asking for people to help them with their vet bills. Like, and they'll be like, tell us what veterinarian your pet is at and I'll make a donation to them for your case or whatever.
Yes, I've seen
like,
that as well.
Even that. But instead, he's like, anybody got some IV stuff? What?
Maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about and he thinks that the terms he's using are correct.
That's probably best case scenario. It concerns me because this is my neighborhood group.
Oh, this is local to you?
Mm-hmm. I am amongst
I did not catch
these
that.
people.
Oof.
And so it is concerning.
Yikes.
The other one from next door, you'll enjoy. It's chicken related.
Oh, yeah.
This is an anonymous neighbor. They don't have a name, so we can give them a name.
Holy Anna.
I have a neighborhood post for Holy Anna.
Holy Anna, Holy Anna.
This chicken showed up at my house 2 weeks ago and hasn't left. I've been feeding it. The owner said 2 days ago it was hers and that she'd come tomorrow, but she hasn't. They obviously don't want it. Anybody want it for a pet and not for dinner?
That's nice to have a very friendly chicken as a pet. And not for dinner. You can't give away someone else's property, though.
He liked that they specified, like, I'm willing to rehome this lady's chicken, but you can't eat it. Like, it has to be a pet only.
It's very considerate. Why not just give the chicken back to the owner? Like, I get that the owner hasn't come to pick it up, but, like, go give it to the
Or drop it off. Yeah. Girl, go get your chicken back. He's trying to give it away.
Maybe Holy Anna thought that the person who owned the chicken was on the neighborhood page and would see that and be like, ooh, I need to come get my chicken now.
Well, she has not. And there's a lot of people on here interested in getting the chicken. One person responded with, I have 6 Rhode Island red hens already. Sorry. Which felt like you didn't even have to post at that point if you're not willing to help. We don't care how many chickens you already have.
And what breed they are.
Oh, gosh. I have chickens, but thanks. Someone else said, there's a lot of chickens running around in this neighborhood. You can come get all of them, too.
Helpful.
Those are probably somebody else's chicken.
Yeah.
So if they're running all around the neighborhood, that seems wild. Like, you don't know where I live, but I live kind of, in the ghetto a little bit, right? There's no farmland around me, if you will. So where all these chickens are living, I don't...
Backyards.
We don't have big backyards. It's a weird area to just be like, folks got chickens.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, so let's do your wrap-up question.
My wrap-up question was, if you could, like, not even thinking about what pets you have or anything like that, but like, your ideal dog, would it be, a specific breed, or would you want a mix and have like this characteristic from this breed and this characteristic from this breed? Like, would you want to like build your own mixed breed, or would you want any specific purebred? Like, what's your ideal dog?
If I'm being honest, I am really big fan of Labradors. I think that they are a very smart, very cute, very goofy breed. Like, it's hard to move away from them. But I think I am a big fan, after meeting Pixel and Grace's, of Border Collies. With the right kind of owners, they're really kind of cool. So maybe a Labra Collie.
Very nice. Yeah.
What about you?
I would go Jack Russell all the way. That is my absolute favorite breed. I've never had a purebred. I've only ever had a Jack Russell mix at any given time. And from the moment I had my first Jack Russell mix, it was like set in the stars. I do not ever want to be without a Jack Russell or a Jack Russell mix, because they're tiny, but they are absolutely insane animals. And they are hyper protective, and they are fearless, and I love them. They're insanely loyal. I just think that they're full of sass. They're full of like demon terror behavior. I like the crazies. I like the bad dogs.
I can see that. Well, I hope we didn't deter anybody from any specific mixed breed or pure breed kind of deal. That wasn't the intention of this. Just to educate you on some of the issues that are out there when you choose either side. You know, we have our bibliography if you want to check in on our resources that we use.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Facebook, Instagram, and email. We have an AI song called Pet Love Knows No Breed.
Perfect.
We'll see you on the flip side with a new episode soon. Happy 2025. Bye. Bye.
I got a mutt pet with floppy ears, brings me joy and wipes my tears. Purebred purrs in sunny beams, walking down love's endless streams. Curly tails and noses wet, our love's the best you can bet. Big or small, short or tall, doesn't matter at all. Love knows no breed, it's clear. Fur or scales when we're sincere. Snuggling close end of day, bonds that never fade away. Pure or mixed, it's all the same. Heartbeats click like a game. Pros and cons, weigh them right. Families love our guiding light. Research done, we open doors. Loudest barks, our tiniest snores. Match the love, it's no surprise. Every pet's a perfect prize. Love knows no breed, it's clear. Fur or scales where we're sincere. Snuggling close end of day, bonds that never fade away.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.